and welcome back to another episode of DMT Don't Miss This podcast. Of course, as always, me, Sammy B, Sam Butler. And go ahead, drop us a like, drop us a rate and a subscription. DMT Studios on iTunes, DMT Pcast on Instagram and at gmail.com. You can find me, Sammy B _ DMT there. Instagram and Twitch. And then, of course, we have DMT reviews every Tuesday and this every Friday. So just keep tuning in because we'll always be here for you. You can count on that. Sitting across from me today, a very special guest coming to DMT Don't Miss This podcast for the first time ever. This is a long time coming. I've talked about him a lot. He's been one of my oldest friends, and I think you guys are really going to get into this. He's, he's a goof. A lot of people would describe him as that. I would describe him as a goofroo, as in he's goofy and a guru at the same time with his goofy guruisms. And I know he's trying to be humble, but he's just being a little bashful here. Ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Jack Dean Anderson.
What the fuck
Welcome
is this,
to
man?
the
I've been
show.
doing this for like 95 episodes, okay?
What's up? What's happening?
Because I saw you just building up to come at me, and I'm like, I knew he was gonna blow this bit up, so I'm gonna compliment him at the same time, and then that was gonna throw you off.
You did. I totally lost anything that I was going to do with that.
What the hell, man?
I was like, I am kind of a goofy guru. You know what I mean? I'm going to
I
start
think
calling myself
no, you were
that.
just literally like, I could do that as a show name for Twitch.
the goofy
The
guru.
Goofy Guru. That could be like a if you wanted to do a branch off of tangential conclusions.
I was going to say,
the
man,
Goofy Guru.
that could take Silverback Sasquatch maybe someday. Who knows? I love that. That made me laugh. I like that a lot. The goofy guru.
The Goofy Guru.
What else do you want to be in life, bro, other than a goofy guru?
I mean, they're the happiest people on earth,
They are at peace and they laugh all the time.
and they don't have attachments or burdens.
Right? It's crazy.
I bet they have the least amount of back pain of any person.
I
on
would
this
guarantee
planet.
it. Even if they do, they just don't care.
Yeah.
You know, they laugh at it. They say, ow!
They're so positive.
Yeah, that's what we call masochists.
Sorry, that was a mustache hair in my mouth in case people thought I was starting to have a stroke.
Sammy's finally starting to grow a mustache.
Wow.
I know, I couldn't help it.
You know it's taken me years to figure this thing out.
I like to poke at your wounds, bro.
Yeah?
Yeah, now I do.
Well,
I'm going to go from annoying to mean all of a sudden.
okay, small feet. Fucking size 9 over here, 6'2". What's up with your feet there, guy? No wonder it sounds like you fall into every step. You don't have enough foot to cover an actual step.
It's just a true fact about my
Fucking
life.
roasted.
That's just my truth, bro.
It's my truth. I just have small feet,
I
even
just
though
have
for years I was convinced I had size 13 buckets on my feet.
Sure did. Sure did. I tripped a lot.
That is my favorite
Tripped a lot.
discovery. Thor sits in the middle now because we're back to one camera because
The same.
in case people haven't listened to this week's DMT reviews, the editing process of editing 2 cameras, like, whoa, it is quite an undertaking.
It's an
And
endeavor.
for someone who now has 2 jobs, I have no time to do that.
Mhm.
Especially not enough turnaround time from recording this to releasing it. So
Right.
with one camera, I could do that. It's gonna have to be for a hot minute,
Yeah.
and that's okay. We're here to please, and I think about it. There's plenty of other podcasts that just have one camera.
It's
We're
true.
doing pretty dang well. Just as long as we keep putting them out, eventually we'll be able to hire somebody and we'll get 2 cameras up this production value.
We're climbing the charts.
Yeah. If anything, we just have another camera,
Yep.
for some projects.
It's true.
I
I'm in.
mean, I have no idea what we would use it for.
I
Hey,
could use a new camera for just about anything.
to start your OnlyFans, dude.
That's true. That's
There
true.
we go.
Yeah, the audio
Dude.
version of that really doesn't work. It turns
There you
out.
go.
Yeah.
We can rent out our services with this camera to shoot professional looking OnlyFans content. Because a lot of people don't like it that it looks like it's shot on a cell phone, because it is.
Yeah, yeah.
Dude.
People don't like amateur porn from amateurs. Okay, they don't like it. They want professional level stuff, and we got the camera and the lighting to do
You
it.
can rent a DMT camera for a nominal fee.
That's right.
20% of whatever you make.
Tell you what, man.
I bet they make a lot.
Dude,
So
I think
20% is probably an aggressive ask.
I would be fascinated to see like how many people are totally supporting themselves with their OnlyFans. I'm
That would be
sure
an
it's
interesting
more than you
stat.
think for
I
sure.
want to know that and Patreons too.
Sure.
And then, because I mean, do you follow Beeple Crap on Instagram? I've sent you plenty of pictures of it. It's pretty like hyper realistic stuff. He designed the covers for like all of the Imagine Dragons albums.
Oh yeah.
But that guy, he sold a piece of digital art, and I can't remember what it's called, NFT sales, but it's like you sell like the digital file and they own it as if they bought a painting, basically.
Mm.
And I guess it works under the same sort of thing like blockchain that Bitcoin and shit does, where it's like one Bitcoin is the only Bitcoin there is. You know, there's never going to be another one. You can't have another one. So he sold something like that for $64 million, bud.
I've been hearing about
And
something like that it's basically like the new version of like, baseball cards or whatever.
Yeah.
Is like, I think they're doing it in the NBA where they're basically taking like moments where LeBron hits a layup, right?
Yeah.
It was just like a normal one. You can get it and it's cheap, but if you
it's
get
like in a digital frame,
Yep,
and
but
it's
if you
got
get-
like the original file inside of it,
right. And like if LeBron hit like a game-winning shot to win a game and you got that would probably be a lot of money to purchase. Like,
and
so
people
much
are
money.
buying it.
People all over. It's a
Yeah.
growing
I
market.
want to know who's supporting themselves off in an Etsy shop. You know,
Yeah, apparently a lot of people.
for sure. You know, I'm sure a lot of people, and that's the thing that's nice about the internet is that it gives us this option. You know, and it's like if you're unfortunate enough to be canceled, you can start your own Patreon and bring your fans, and they'll pay you money. You
Yeah.
can still make a living doing what you do. You're
That's
not
right.
fully gone, man.
There's just too many people.
Yeah.
There's too many people.
We don't have nearly enough content or time to make content to start a Patreon.
No.
So we're just gonna have to stick with our post-roll ad,
Yeah.
which we just got paid for. No big deal.
What are we talking about? We're pushing product. It's no big deal.
Yeah, and I don't know what it is ever.
Yeah.
Like one time it was for the Views vape, which honestly, if they keep sponsoring us, I'll openly vape a lot more and a lot less self-consciously on the show,
Do it.
where I'm covering it up and then blowing it out the side. You know, now the secret's out. I don't really have to really give a shit.
Yeah, now vaping is life now, man. Everybody's vaping. Why wouldn't you vape? You know, get you the buzz. You know, it's quick, it's discreet, it doesn't smell bad.
Vape life.
It's changing the world.
I think that's it. Vape life.
Vape for life. I remember Big J used to do that all
Yep.
the time at the house. Vape
Yep.
for life for the 4 days that he vaped. You remember
Vape 4 days.
You remember that week?
Forgot about that.
That was a fun week. That
Yeah,
was fun.
and then he just didn't want to buy it anymore. He was just like, I'm good.
Yeah. Well, was it just you, Wes, and Joey that were really into it for that week, or was Jake involved as well? I don't think Jake was, because he was working. He was doing his thing.
I didn't vape until after the house.
Oh, really?
I
was
might
it-
have tried it,
Yeah.
but I didn't. Yeah, because I remember him and Wes bought those big, like rainbow-looking ones.
Yeah.
So it might have been Jake, but I don't know.
Mhm.
I wouldn't go so far as to say it for him.
Yeah. I will. Jake.
Jacob,
You're
you're a bad influence.
bad
You're a
influence, man.
vape lord.
You're a vape
through
man.
and through, full vape lord, dude.
Whether or not you've had that vapor in your lungs, you're a vape lord.
You're a vape lord.
We got you.
We got you, VL, Vape Life, Vape Lord.
And Jake listens to this more than most fans. So,
Jake, we're calling you out.
We're
Get on
calling
the
you out,
show
bro.
and defend yourself.
get on here.
Come on, DMT, and defend yourself, Jacob Peta. We're calling you out, brother.
We get a text a week later, like, okay, I'll come on and defend myself.
Good episode, guys. Cool episode. Really liked being called out by
Yeah.
name on this stupid fucking podcast
That's
that
how
I
we-
support you guys in.
That's how we do this.
Is that we're doing it? We call you out,
Call you
brother.
out. I mean, it only seems like the right thing to do.
Yeah.
Get him on. Do it.
Yep. You gotta get it.
Scare him.
Gotta get into character, buddy.
Yeah. Stare into that camera.
Mikey Pikes, Jacob Beta, you hear me now and you hear me loud and proud. I'm calling you out, buddy. You better come on this and defend your vape lord ways, or Mikey Pikes is gonna run all over your ass and give you the back paddle.
Ooh.
Or even the good old ape hanger.
Ooh.
What's up?
Vape.
Balls in your court.
Vape for life?
Vape for death.
Oh, fuck.
That's Mikey Pikes. And Mikey Pikes out.
Oh my God, that is a fight I'm gonna see. I'm gonna pay for. I'm gonna pay $80 for
Yeah,
the
it's
pay-per-view.
pay-per-view.
Yeah.
You got to get the WWE app though.
Yeah, if you don't watch that, then
It's not on the WWE app, but you have to get it.
you have to get it in order to
Just
you know.
so that Mikey Bikes can get some of the publicity
Exactly.
he gets, and then maybe one day he'll step in the great square circles of Vince McMahon's great empire.
You never know. But if you don't get the WWE app, we'll never find
We'll
out.
never find out.
Sammy B, how was your week, my friend?
Oh, it was long, boring. Wayne Enterprises designation. I've taken to call it the Bat. No, I started work this week at Raccoon Creek, baby, back at the Coon Creek. And we started with airification on Monday, and that was okay until the machine I was on broke down. And it's the core harvester. If you don't know what
Does
that
anybody
is.
call it the poop lookalike? That machine? Because when I see aeration, I when I was young, I used to think there was just poop all over the
Yeah,
place.
I honestly did too.
I used to think there's some animals had just washed
Yeah, that's
over
actually-
our fields overnight and just pooped everywhere.
That's actually the shorthand. We call it the shitifier.
the shit of fire. Nice. Okay, I was
Yeah.
just curious.
No,
I've always
that's not
wondered
the
that.
machine I was working on.
Well, you better start calling it
both
that.
the shitifiers were working pretty well. I was in the shitifier harvester,
Yeah.
and so it's what sucks up all the poops.
Sure.
And so the thing, it's old and very temperamental, and it broke down a couple times, and that's bad news bears because then we have to shovel all of them ourselves, and this thing is very helpful.
Sure.
And so we got it up and running, managed to take it slow, go all the way through. And then Tuesday, a fucking snowstorm. And it snowed and melted all in 24 hours.
One day, yeah.
It was such bullshit.
That's
It
like
was
5 inches of snow.
Yeah, and it was like, what the fuck was the point of that, Mother Nature, other than to fuck up my schedule? Sure, it didn't put me completely out because I was able to re-pick up my shift that I took off on Tuesday from insomnia. And then, but then I had to find someone to cover for Wednesday.
Sure.
There was a whole fucking to do.
Awkward texts galore, miscommunications,
Yeah.
backing in, backing out, backing in again. I get it. I
Yeah.
get it. Stressful
But
week.
then on Wednesday, it went pretty well.
Mhm.
The machine didn't break down. It was totally smooth. And we got free, almost properly cooked double cheeseburgers from the clubhouse.
Nice.
It was
Nice.
yeah, it was just like right there at the point where it's like, yeah, it's well enough done, but this thing is almost bloody. It's still kind of mushy and gross feeling in your mouth, but I was like, hey, it's a free double cheeseburger. That's more than they give us, which is cold cut, crappy turkey sandwiches that aren't very good at all.
See, that is why I do backbreaking work is for raw beef. That's the only reason I do it.
Yeah.
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 So I respect your bosses,
I mean, it's not even the kindness of our bosses. It was the clubhouse.
Oh, even the
Our
club.
bosses got us fucking Dominoes last time.
Ooh,
Like a
nice.
lot of Dominoes.
Sure.
So that was like, well,
That's the hookup.
everybody had like a whole pizza themselves, basically.
Nice. That's pretty dope.
It's pretty nice. Medium pizzas.
I miss pizza.
What'd you do? Give it up for Lent?
Yeah, a little bit, kind of ish. I could go into my diet, but nobody seems to want to hear me talk.
No, nobody wants to hear you talk about it.
Routinely, I try to bring it up, and people throw me downstairs. It's been a real problem as of the past couple weeks.
It's like, oh yeah, Jack, come, keep talking.
Yeah.
I gotta take.
Hey guys, let me tell you about my intermittent fasting schedule.
And then also it's like, hey Jack, come. I like what you're talking about. Just keep walking and talking with me. I got to go up to the kitchen real quick. And then you're just like, it's all about balancing carbohydrate. And you're done.
That's been my past month, man. You've pushed me a couple times for it too.
Not recently, but still.
Still, I mean,
Every time you bring up your fucking macros, I'm just
Yeah.
like, how would you macro the fuck up?
let me tell you all about my protein intake, bro.
Hey, let me tell you about the rest of my week. So yesterday, we walk mode, and it was with the big heavy ones, and I got saddled with doing 3, and you had to cut it twice, so it was like 6. My shins are sore, but here's the thing, Jack. I was gassed after the first one. My legs hurt. More exercise that I've done in a long time because it's not just regular walking pace. You kind of gotta, speed walk, power walk behind them, and that's like 5 miles or more. All that, and it's something that I've been doing this week, Jack, and it's something you could probably get behind, and that is positive affirmations.
Ah, dude, I hate them. I hate them so much. I think
That's-
they're destructive.
They
and I-
work. They work.
I think they
dude.
will bring down society as a whole.
If people are positive instead of just completely toxic all the time to themselves and others.
Then society will crumble.
Yeah, they have to be completely toxic, completely put up walls, hate themselves, lowest self-esteem possible, and then we can control them.
The only way you can keep your house is if you're rude to everyone.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No friends. No friends. You barely have a family.
Mm-hmm.
Antisocial as fuck.
Yeah. So how did positive affirmations ruin your week? Just get super aggressive about
It's
it.
like, but dude, I was nice to myself for one fucking day, and things went well.
Dude, I told myself I could, and I did it, and I'm just sick of it.
I was driving in my car. I was feeling down. I was just like, oh, you're just a piece of shit. You're a loser, blah, blah, blah. And then I just was like, hey, why are you being so mean to yourself? And then I was just like, hey, you're Sammy motherfucking B, all right? You're doing dope shit. You're a host of 2 podcasts. DMT, baby. That's a lot to be proud of. You should be proud. You just finished your 2nd script and submitted it. You be proud. You know? And then I was just like, whoa, my day totally turned around.
Jeez, I feel so bad for you.
I
dude.
know.
I feel terrible.
And then back to
bad
the lawn mowing. I was just like, oh man, this hurts. But then I was like, oh, the pain. This is good pain because you need it. And guess what? If you just keep doing it, you're going to get better. Just keep thinking of it as free exercise, dude. Just keep doing it. See how
Stop.
far you could go. See how much
like
you
a
could get
personal
done.
Trainer. Stop it.
Yeah.
Stop.
Just see how far you could go,
Hate
buddy.
this.
And then I did it. And I actually felt good. I came home and I ate a pretty good lunch. And I took a good nap.
Ugh.
And then I was refreshed.
You sound healthy.
Yeah.
Stop it.
I
Stop.
sound like I actually have a kind of good head on my shoulders.
We will stop being friends if you keep this up.
Yeah?
Just someone. Yeah, it's like I'm doing
If
really
you
well
keep
for myself.
improving your life, I'm fucking done with you.
Out of this.
Stop losing weight. You're a fat fuck, and you will die a fat fuck. Otherwise, we're done.
There are people like that out there.
There probably are.
Oh, there definitely are. Oh,
Like,
yeah.
don't you dare try to self-improve yourself. Don't you get on that medication. Don't you see a therapist. Stay as fucked up as you are, or we're done.
Yeah, or else you're not interesting.
You're not a part of my life anymore.
I can't use you.
Because if I look at myself next to you and see how good you're doing, I want to hate myself.
Yeah, I mean,
And that means I have to do work to improve myself, and I don't want to.
I don't want to do that. Okay, that is just that's not my niche. Okay.
No.
Yeah, that's
Fuck
that exact reason is
that.
why I hate you. Okay.
Like, you positive Polly, fuck you.
I hate you for trying to take ownership of this life. Fuck you.
For turning it around, for trying to do good for
For
yourself.
trying to be a good part of the world.
For
Yeah.
self-care, so therefore you can be good for the care of others. How dare you, you fucking dick.
Only assholes would do something like that. Please tell me you're just making jokes right now.
I'm just joking.
Oh, thank God. Thank God.
Yes, Jack. It
We're
was
very-
the best. It was the best tool because it fucking works.
It does.
You know, you notice that, like, but you have to be mindful. The mindfulness part, you have to catch yourself feeling that kind of shitty.
Yeah.
And then you fucking go, hey, how about I don't? There's a lot of good things that I'm grateful for. Gratitude's a good thing to be practicing. Mindfulness and just being like, hey, what am I upset about? I can't control that.
Right.
Control your controllables. All the dumb shit that you can hear Jack talk about on tangential confusions.
Confusions. I mean, that's what it should be
Conclusions,
called.
yeah, tangential confusions, because that's what the tangents are, is confusions.
You're just like, how did you get there? And
Yeah.
are you ever coming back?
No.
No.
The ship has sailed. That's our podcast to a T. We start to in one direction, and then once we hit a fork in the road, we're going. Always forward.
Yes,
Always forward
and-
as fuck. That is the DMT way.
Yeah. If you're a no butter in this world, we don't want you.
Yeah.
No
It's
butters.
always yes and. That was
Yeah.
my whole thing. Being open.
Mhm.
Open to stuff. Yes anding situations. And that doesn't mean that I wasn't a curmudgeon this
of
week. There
course.
was plenty to be a
You
curmudgeon
gotta be
about.
yourself.
I
you
mean,
know?
for fuck's sake, that Lil Nas X video, dude.
Oh Christ!
That got
I
me
watched
worked
that,
up,
yeah.
and I went full 360 or 180 on it.
Mhm.
And I'm just like, I saw that. I'm like, I refuse to watch this because he's just playing into the satanic panic for attention.
Right.
And then I just doubled back on it. I was just like, but isn't that every artist's job is to get attention? Then I watched the music video, and I'm just like, all right, that's going to rile up the
Oh.
people that it's going to rile up.
And
And
it
actually,
sure has.
it's going to rile up the people that you actually get the most enjoyment out of seeing mad.
Yep.
Like, anytime you see some politician or something like that who's hyper Christian and they see something like this and they're like, this is the worst thing to happen. It happened with WAP,
Mhm.
you know, where it's like, this is the worst thing to happen to our society. I just hope that these people can repent before the end of this. And it's always got to be some Southern draw person.
Yep.
You never hear somebody from Minnesota like, "Oh, I just think that music video there is not what the big fella upstairs is want going on over here."
Never from the Northeast, never a Bostonite.
Yeah, fucking that shit was so fucking antichrist. That was so fucking blasphemous. Ma fucking almost had a heart attack about it.
Not a bit.
That fucking Lil Nas X. I don't like that guy. And it's not because he's queer, neither. I don't have a problem with those people. I have a problem with non-Catholics, okay? Because they're the real sinners here.
That's what happens when you give Satan a lap dance.
You don't hear somebody in California just being like, I was just thinking that Lil Nas X, the way he handled this blasphemous tone was flying in the face of exactly what the Lord wants, Like, the Lord is not exactly happy about that.
Yeah.
Actually, that dude's like, dude, go Lil Nas X. He's sticking it in the face of the establishment, bro.
Stay positive.
Like, all these fucking uppity Christian fucks, they're so out to fucking dry and twist it up, and I can totally get behind that. Chaw-fill. And I refused to watch it, and then I watched it, and I'm like, oh, it's dumb, and also the song sucked. So
it's certainly not something, again, that's only a problem in your life if you make it a problem in your life. And that's my thing with, like, Christian outrage in these moments and whatnot. Not just Christian. I mean, any sort of, this is counter to what we believe, so we're going to condemn this, we're going to hate this, we're going to attack this, blah, blah. I'll just speak from the Christian perspective because that's, relevant to this situation. Again, I just stand by, like, if you
tell us about your Christian values, Jack.
If your religion is good enough, then your God shouldn't give a fuck if someone is giving a lap dance to an actor playing Satan. You know what I mean?
Honestly, and also what a bitch God is.
Exactly.
I mean, that's literally the conclusion that was drawn at the end of Preacher.
Yeah.
Was that God's a fucking whiny, thirsty bitch.
Mm-hmm.
Thirsty for your love. He's just like, love me,
yeah.
love me, love me.
I mean, it makes sense. Think about social media influencers. They're in their rooms all day posting things and whatnot, and they get a lot of DMs, aka prayers, aka follows. Seems to satisfy them until it inevitably does not.
Dude, what if the idea for Social Network was started because of Bruce Almighty in the scene where Jim Carrey turns all the prayers that are in his head into like emails and just responds to all of them super quick, and they're just like, to that
can be done.
We can make everyone their own Jim Carrey, and then implode society as a whole.
I don't know. I've been
like, why take down figureheads and establishments when we can just take it all down from within, Zemo style?
Exactly. I don't know. I've been actually thinking about religion a lot this week because I've started this new habit where I wake up in the morning and there's something I've wanted to do for a year and I just haven't because I talk myself out of it. I wake up and with my coffee, I watch a little, Richard Rohr video. I watch a little Eckhart Tolle, a little Ram Dass, 15 minutes of it, do a little meditation. I'll tell you, Richard Rohr has got some good stuff. Okay, he is, I believe, a priest or a pastor. I can't remember.
Oh, isn't he the Franciscan friar?
Friar. Well, I think in the video I watched, he was. I don't know. I don't know anything about
Pete
religion.
Holmes, that's where I know him.
Exactly.
From, so.
I learned about him through Pete Holmes.
He was a Franciscan friar.
My sister's gotten really into him lately, so I've started listening to his stuff. And there's just one of the points he made that resonated with me so much and taught me, like, I think this is really what religion is about. Is he was like, talking about how old Judaism, like Old Testament, like original kind of. Worship
the one that
God.
the chosen people wrote.
Exactly. They can't say the name.
Nothing but love for the tribe.
Nothing but love. Man. I felt like I had something to say, and then I totally spaced it.
Well, I mean, we got to show gratitude to the Jews.
Oh, of course. I mean...
It's gratitude.
Gratitude. I mean, it is. So they basically... You can't say God's name in these original texts, you know what I mean? His name is unspeakable, and like a lot of people look at that and they think it's like Voldemort, where it's like, don't enact.
Is his name actually Jehovah?
His name is Yahweh, right?
Okay, so because he was a combination of Yah and Way,
right? And
from Sumerian and Mesopotamian.
But what Richard Rohr pointed out too, and the reason that you can't say Yahweh isn't because it's this forbidden thing. It's because you don't need to say Yahweh. Now this is a little stretch, but it totally made sense to me when I heard it. Because you go, and I know we're getting real meta and physical and weird here, but like go down this path with me, and I guarantee you it'll make you like
I'll
life
go down
more.
this path with you, but I'm like, bro, that's a stretch.
It's a stretch, but like, don't look at it as a stretch. Don't look at it as like, this is supposed to be literal. Think of it in that way, because if you think of it like that, it means that God's with you every breath. Now, I'm not a religious person. When I say God, I don't have a preconceived
also,
notion of it.
It's not.
I know.
It's not like that because it's actually.
Well, that's what we're getting to. That's where our species is going. But as of right now, we can. I mean, the idea is that you don't say his name because you breathe it in all the time. You breathe it in, you breathe it out. It's all one interconnected thing. And it's like people always say that's bullshit, but like, I don't know, everybody that's like legitimately gone down that path and just played with that thought experiment seems to come out with a little bit more of a positive attitude. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know. We take things so. He says, I think I might be butchering this, but he's basically like, everybody's so focused on the container of what we're reading and looking at and discussing when it comes to religion that nobody's actually paying attention to the context of what's going on in there. At least not the people that are getting outraged. Everybody that's getting outraged is getting outraged because it's not following the rules of the book, not learning about what the book is trying to say about the situation. You know what I mean? Like that little Nas thing. Think about the amount of people, the population that just had joy out of that because they're Little Nas fans. You know what I mean?
I just still take fucking umbrage with his goddamn stage name, dude.
Oh yeah, I'm not a fan.
Mashing together, like the audacity to be like, I'm like Lil Wayne and Nas crossed together.
Mm-hmm.
Fuck off. Especially because every song he's put out is like,
Yeah.
The music videos kind of look cool because all the CGI is pretty unique. It seems to be the same director. And then, but like, what's that one? Panini that he put out? They just lifted that fucking riff from In Bloom by Nirvana. It's not very creative, homie.
Steal. Let's do it. Come on. That's how we're going to become famous musicians. We're just going to take other people's work.
Yeah.
Like,
well, I mean,
we talk about it a lot.
The fucking board.
That is true. That is true. I don't know. It's just funny. Like, we worry a lot about like, oh, is this thing we're writing like too close to something we like and all that? And it's like, I think we do a really good job and a super conscious effort to like be inspired but not use. But quite frankly, I don't think society would really care one way or another because clearly they don't.
Especially because we're in such a content glut.
Yeah.
There's a good chance that there's anything that if we ever make, it's just like, if anybody finds the derivative nature and homages and stuff like that, there are people who've watched that stuff. But for the good part, I'm sure there's plenty of people that just have never seen anything that we're basing it off of. Because for me specifically, I remember, because I've been such a fucking film nerd for so fucking long, and just learning people's influences of movies, like people that I like, I go back and watch that movie because I'm like, oh, I've never heard of it, but I liked what they did in this. So, for example, actually, you could tie into religion here real quick. It's I was really into Veggie Tales, but the one with Jonah and the whale was really, really into that when I was like 7. And they did the commentary as Bob and Larry, the cucumber and tomato. Yeah, so they were in character doing the commentary.
Tom Brady actively hates the Veggie Tales because he's so anti-tomato. He's gone.
Is he anti-tomato?
Oh, he said. Well, I don't know if he hates him, but he says don't eat tomatoes. He's very
acidic,
very open about it. Yeah, because of the acidity.
Acidity. Yeah. That makes sense.
Tom Brady has an active petition that he is more focused on than his NFL career to end Veggie Tales.
That's weirder. No, that's not. That's about as weird as Bob Barker's entire thing about spaying and neutering pets every episode of Jeopardy. Not Jeopardy. What was his Price is Right? You just be like, "Welcome back to the Price is Right. I'm Bob Barker, and just reminding you to spay and neuter your pets, people." It's like he's real. Carl said it when he was on the podcast. He's like, "That's such a weird hill to die on, Bob Barker." Just like spaying and neutering your pets. Like he's actively.
This is how I'll change the world.
He's actively, activist. For population control of pets.
Yep, he does not want pets to reproduce
Out of control.
Yep, not a chance. Not a chance.
And it makes me wonder if that was like a problem when he grew up. Like his parents were dog breeders and there were just too many puppies. There were just too many puppies and he just has nightmares of them.
Can't handle this.
No, not the litter. Don't put me in the litter box.
Can't feed them all.
Don't,
No.
don't do it. I'm Bob Barker. The price is right.
No, pick me up, Mama. Pick me. Anyway, Veggie Tales. Jonah and the
What's
Whale.
behind door number 2? More dogs.
More dogs. No.
Oh, and they're fucking. They haven't been spayed or neutered. No.
End this. End this now. Society, step up. Do your part. The apocalypse is now.
He's just like the entire time. He's like, I could go into activism. I could do that. I could figure this out. I could be part of the ASPCA.
I could create a sustainable solution.
Or I could influence millions of people through daytime game show hosting. That's what I'll do.
That's my power. I got this.
Bob Barker, world savior.
Makes sense.
Honestly.
I mean, I don't know.
Honestly, it's like
I
if the
want
Infinity
puppies.
Stones would have existed, Thanos would have been having a hard time because you would have been having to, constantly at every stone site be fighting Bob Barker because Bob Barker is trying to collect the Infinity Stones to snap and wipe the population of puppies and cats in half.
It's not Red Skull for the Soul Stone. It's Bob Barker. Extremely burned and a ghost. I once sought an Infinity Stone to spay and neuter all the dogs.
All the dogs and cats.
And it did not work.
It did not work.
And I
It
have to-
rejected me.
I have to stay here forever now because of that. And I still want the job done.
Oh my God, that was awesome.
Can you imagine?
But anyway, back to the VeggieTales
VeggieTales.
commentary. There's this one scene where they go to either Sodom or Gomorrah, one of the two. Aren't they like next door to each other?
I believe
cities?
so, yeah.
So probably both at some point.
It's like Metropolis and Gotham.
Yeah.
It's all these are all the same stories.
They're the same fucking thing. But they go there, and there's two P's dressed as Roman soldiers, and they're just slapping the shit out of each other with fish. And they're like, that was a joke from Monty Python. And I was just like, whoa, well, I don't know anything about Monty Python other than my dad has all the DVDs. So how about that? So I started watching Monty Python when I was like in first grade.
Mhm.
And then got put on to Holy Grail, and that just changed the whole game.
Yeah.
But that, talk about earliest comedy influences. It started from fucking VeggieTales, dude.
Yeah, absolutely. Man, I'll tell you what, I just think so much of a lot of my, maybe not personality, but like a lot of where my sense of humor for sure came from is just having like, when I was a kid, the weekly run of Simpsons, King of the Hill, Malcolm in the Middle, Arrested Development, and then
Yeah,
Thursdays,
you got to have
Office,
the
Parks. Yeah, it's like you pick up on these things and they inspire you to go down different avenues. And if you really enjoy them, you get to know like the show creators and the Mike
Yeah.
Judges and the different.
You know what Sunday nights were at the Butler house? Desperate Housewives, Grey's Anatomy, Brothers and Sisters.
I understand you now.
Fuck, dude. Didn't get to watch any of the Fox shit. Didn't
Oh,
even
man.
know it was happening
Oh,
because
man.
that's all I knew. What was Sunday nights was on ABC.
Oh, sure.
ABC drama, 3 hours of just soap, opera, hot garbage.
Yeah, I mean,
Like, Desperate Housewives is like such a sexy name for an unsexy show.
Yes.
Like, you would have pictured like Sex in the City, except just MILFs in a cul-de-sac. But no, it's not. It's a lot of like backstabbing between best friends, murder, betrayal, people getting killed in crazy accidents.
Sure.
And like they just have a rotating door of casts of people moving into Wisteria Lane, dude. And everyone's got a fucking shady background.
Mhm. Yep.
And once you just like start watching it and get invested in the stories, you're just like, Tom Scavo's a cunt. Eva Longoria should have left him. And then he goes blind, and then you're just kind of like, oh man, he's totally like not a dick anymore. I mean, Eva Longoria is a saint now for staying with him, And then they had like a 5-year jump, all that. Then Grey's Anatomy is Grey's Anatomy. The only thing I really can remember about that show is that Patrick Dempsey was called McSteamy or McDreamy. McDreamy. Yeah, he was McDreamy. And then the dude who plays that multiplying guy in X-Men The Last Stand, he's McSteamy.
Oh,
And
sure.
so they were just doing dumb shit like that. And then the episode with the dude who was so fat that he had like
Oh, yeah.
really bad bed sores that they had to do an operation on. And so they're like, we can't fit him through this door. We got to get him to walk the other gurney. And then he like gets out of bed and he stands up and walks a couple steps. He looks at his banging hot wife.
Mhm.
And he goes, honey, look, I can walk. And she starts crying and they're so happy. And then he takes a step and then both of his legs shatter beneath
Oh.
his weight in the worst sound possible.
Oh.
And I'm like, I think I'm just going to go do something else.
I think I'm
during
over this show.
Grey's Anatomy. And then Brothers and Sisters was about this really,
Just can we
yeah.
think
Okay.
about the writer's room? And they're like, this is gonna be such a huge moment. It's gonna fuck with people, okay? This is gonna be real, but we're gonna do it because it works. It's got emotional weight. And then everybody that watches Grey's Anatomy sees that and like, all right, we're over this.
Yep.
The writers are like, one writer in particular is like, we need this, okay? This is gonna change the show. And it just alone ruins the
Yeah,
entire show.
everybody's like sliding out of frame. I know this is 2005, but that's pretty uncool to do to fat people. I know we're 15 years from being like, you have to love fat people.
Right.
But that's pretty mean to just be like, honey, I can walk. There is hope for me. Crunch. Jesus.
Oh, man.
And then Brothers and Sisters was the first thing I ever saw Rob Lowe in.
Yeah.
And it has Sally Field, Callista Flockhart, who, marries Rob Lowe. Why did I have that fucking brain fart right there? That was weird as shit. And then a
there's
bunch
lot
of other
famous
people, and
Robs.
then it was a family where the patriarch dies, and it turns out that he's been having an affair, and all these family secrets come out. And then Rob Lowe gets killed off the show and joins Parks and Recreation, and then I'm like, wait, Thursdays on NBC is the tits.
Yeah. I would be fascinated to, see like a census of people that like watched a Fox a bunch growing up and watch like all these different like little time slots, different channels and whatnot. Like, does watching ABC for your whole life and that only ABC for a while affect you versus watching Fox versus watching NBC, especially back then?
Well, it's funny because like we were talking about with Harry Potter and Lord of the Rings, it's like we were just there.
Right.
We had such like slightly different upbringings. Like you had Cartoon Network and Nickelodeon. I had Disney XD. That was
Right.
my cartoon channel.
Right.
So it was just all slightly different.
Mhm.
Slightly different.
Yep.
And that was like my main driving point to just be like, I have to get to my friends' houses. They have the cooler shit. Because not only do they have all the channels I have, but they have the cooler shit.
Right. They got Ed and Eddie.
We did watch NBC Thursdays, though. I do remember catching Friends, and then I remember watching like Joey when that spinoff happened, that horrible piece of shit.
Oh, God.
Like, he's too dumb to be a protagonist.
Yeah.
He's too dumb to be a protagonist.
The show works because of the ensemble.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and so, and it makes you totally dispel reality.
Yep.
you
Yep.
know?
And hey, he's a great actor, super funny. But you've got Jennifer Aniston, Courtney Cox, even David Schwimmer to an extent. Matt LeBlanc has not done nearly as much as those other people, and just as far as being like a leading man,
He's done about as much as Matthew Perry.
Yeah, that and Matthew Perry's similar, but like I think
They've gotten a bunch of one-season shows.
and I think
But
they're two of the
there
funniest
was
people.
one, I think I'd still be going with Matt LeBlanc that's gone on like 8 seasons or something.
Oh,
I think
really?
it's like called Man in Charge or something like that. I'll have to IMDb that.
I want Joe Rogan to interview Matt LeBlanc so bad because I feel like, as far as because I think News Radio was coming out around the same time as Friends.
Yeah, it was the
and-
same exact time.
Yeah, and
I don't know what channel it was on, but that was like the 90s were real network wars.
and everybody needed the
It was
sitcom.
like,
and
are you
blah,
watching
blah.
Friends or Seinfeld? They're the same time slot.
Right, and it felt like
Or no, it was Seinfeld or Home Improvement. That's what it was.
sure,
Because Friends and Seinfeld were partners. They
Mhm.
were NBC, both of them.
back to back, and I was like, the Rogan character in News Radio clearly is the Joey of the show, right? Turns out Matt LeBlanc and Joe Rogan grew up in the same town, like within
Really?
4 years of each other. Yeah,
I bet they know
And-
each other.
Joe Rogan's like, oh yeah, I knew of Matt LeBlanc when I was a kid growing up in near Boston, and like he was a super lady hound, and there's all these rumors about this guy, and then I get to Hollywood and he's fucking on Friends,
Yeah.
It's like what
Okay.
a weird
Matt
thing.
LeBlanc had a Showtime show for
Uh-huh.
7 seasons or 5 seasons. Never mind. 5 seasons, 41 episodes called Episodes.
Yeah.
And then he was on Lisa Kudrow's web therapy show.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah,
Okay.
but Man with a Plan is what he's been on. Oh, it's only 4 seasons, but still, it's been doing pretty well on CBS.
Mhm.
So yeah, and then Matthew Perry had a couple like Mr. Sunshine. That wasn't bad,
Yeah.
but I
He
liked.
directed a Scrubs.
Yes, he did.
Yeah,
I
that he
really
was
liked
in.
listening to his episode with Pete Holmes, Matthew Perry.
Has one?
Yeah,
Forgive me, I'm gonna get on my phone and add that to, my list right now.
yeah, I believe it's Pete Holmes, but it's like it was Matthew Perry, and he has a really good section talking about how different it is to act single camera versus live studio audience, and how
Mm,
much more fun it is to do a live studio audience and easy, honestly, because basically how that worked with the 4 camera show and live studio audience, it's like they were doing a play every week. So they do the
sure.
table read on Monday and then rehearse, do blocking and all that shit, and then whenever they shoot all in one take, no flubs, no reshoots or anything like that. They get through it, bing, bang, boom, it's in the can. Then they just have to edit between 4 cameras, and
Yeah.
you're done. You got your show.
Yeah, it was cool. They did. I watched season 7. I just finished of Curb Your Enthusiasm, and like the whole arc of the season is they're doing a Seinfeld reunion,
Mhm.
which was so many great moments.
Oh my god, I've seen so many clips of it.
Yeah,
How much Jason Alexander fucking hates
Larry
Larry
David.
David, and then Julia Louis Dreyfus being such a dick.
Yep.
It's so
And then
great.
JB Smoove fucking with Michael Richards, and they're like playing into the joke, and it
Oh
goes,
really?
oh, and it's great because you're just like
That's good.
you can tell it like it broke Michael
Oh yeah.
Richards. Like he's definitely
Everything that you've seen him in, he's just like a
never the
shell of a
same.
man.
Yep. And like, but they play. So I was like, I'm glad that they can play into the joke, and he's always been honest about it. And he's all like, basically, long story short, JB Smoove has to pretend to be a guy who has a disease that Michael Richards might have, and but the guy has died. So Larry David doesn't want Michael Richards to freak out about that before the show. So he has JB Smoove go and play this guy, and Michael Richards finds out that they lied, and he goes and he marches up to JB Smoove, who's like talking to 2 other black like crew members, and he's like, "Oh, you liar! Oh, you make me so mad! I want to call you a name to express how I feel." And he turns, and everyone's got a camera on him, and he's just like, "Oh no!" And he runs away, and the episode's over. And
That's
it's like,
awesome.
I mean, like again, no excuse for what he did. He's doing the right things to at least not let it own his life and not let it define who he was. And again, he's owning up to. You can tell this man has super remorse. Anyway, why'd I bring up because they are like doing table reads and doing all the like rehearsals, and then they record the show. And it's crazy to like I in the behind the scenes of WandaVision, the way that they shoot live studio audiences always blows my mind because shit, I mean, like so many different sets, so many different stages. Like you think about monks and Seinfeld, I would always think about how there's a booth in front of them, and would that disrupt the audience? No, they're up on a thing.
Mhm.
It just blows my mind that we can do theater and TV at the same
I
time.
know.
Yeah.
And the fact that that was the medium, the way to
Hmm.
do it for so long. But people just got so used to the cinematic quality that was established
Right.
by Malcolm in the Middle,
Right. Exactly.
And so many shows started taking that suit, and it was like, hey, let's make shows like this from now
Hmm.
on. And it's so hard to make 4 camera shows anymore.
Right.
The format is it's not obsolete, but it's so difficult to do well.
You can't do it to do it. You have to do it because you're like, this is a 4 camera
Yeah,
show. This has to
yeah.
be. Yeah.
Because I caught Keenan after Young Rock one
Mm.
night, and it's a 4 camera show, and it's not terrible, but it's just like
Yeah, Will Sasso's got a family one that's 4 camera, and it's like, again, it's got its moments and stuff like that, but like 4 camera shows have just turned into like the classic, oh, we're gonna learn this lesson this week, and it's like I get it, like especially young families need that for sure,
mhm.
but like, oh my god, I mean Seinfeld, Friends, these things set the bar, these
Yeah.
things created it. It's like you can still do a good job, and again, some people would totally argue and be like, Big Bang Theory is doing it or was doing it. It's like, sure, I maybe, but I want one for me, okay? Because
Yeah.
I'm selfish.
Yes.
Now, I want to talk about one thing that I saw this morning, and it was so strange. I'm gonna pull up the video, unless you want me to do it on yours so that we can put it to the Bluetooth. It doesn't really matter
No, it
because the
doesn't really
visual
matter.
is much more important. Again, I have not been by any means paying attention to March Madness, but what's his name? A March Madness ref. Um, he basically, you'll see what happens in this video, but this ref had to get carted off of the court. And the way he got carted off was incredibly strange. So I'm going to let you watch this.
I'll
and-
describe it.
Yeah, you describe it while it's happening. What the fuck? That's it? No, that's the wrong game. Fuck. Talk about something while I take a minute. Here.
This was brought to my attention. What celebrity have people said you look like besides kind of Chris Hemsworth?
You told me.
My mom said Philip Seymour Hoffman.
Yep, I
which was
remember that.
Weird.
What else? There's been another one, but I can't remember off the top of my head.
Someone, Anjane, faithful listener, brought it to my attention that you look like Robert Pattinson.
Look like Robert Pattinson.
And it's the eyes, dude. You guys have low eyes.
Interesting. I have low eyes.
Yeah.
Okay. Interesting.
Low eyes.
Interesting. Okay. Where's the replay of this? Fuck. I will take Robert Pattinson. Absolutely. I'm gonna really be looking at my eyes a lot to understand what low eyes are. Oh my god. Okay.
Well, that's what she said, but I was just like, yeah, the eyes do look the same.
This isn't. I'm not gonna find it, which is ridiculous because
How about I just look it up on here?
Yeah, look up. What's his name? Bert Smith collapses. Bert Smith ref collapses. Basically, this dude had to get carted off because he just fell. Like he's like down under the basket, like watching, like ready to go, and then his body goes entirely limp. No one runs into him. No ball doesn't hit him in the head or anything. He just goes entirely limp and just falls backward and smacks his head on the court.
Oh, that's a fucking slideshow. God damn it, fucking cunt.
This is ridiculous. I mean, this is something I've seen multiple people talk about. How can you not find a video? You know what I mean? It's wild just to see, because I've been watching a lot of UFC lately, and in UFC, obviously, you see knockouts where people's bodies just go limp, but like, it's because they took a knee to the face, or it's because, a 270-pound man punched them in a chokehold. You know what I mean? Like, they're going to go down after that. But this guy literally, and I haven't heard what happened. It's probably come out. I haven't done a ton of research.
Smith, who collapsed moments ago, is being wheeled off.
Okay, I think this is the video I watched.
Yeah, he's just sitting there on the fucking stretcher like he's just being.
And there's just
He's
one
lounging.
one bad like replay.
And has been an official for many years in the National Football League and in college basketball. And Gene, obviously, this is an upsetting time when you see one of your partners fall like that. And we want to show you the footage now.
Show it, fuckface. They didn't even show it on the other one. Now we gotta watch crappy.
And you can see there's no action around him.
Oh my god!
It's like
so for people listening, it's literally like he was just standing and then just fell flat.
Yep.
Like didn't put his arms out, knees didn't buckle or anything. He was straight up and down and then just went.
Yeah,
didn't block his head. He just whacked it right off the court. And then he's on the stretcher.
Gone. Yeah,
and he's just like, man.
I would be.
I'm embarrassed.
You're in the Elite Eight, which everybody's like most sports fans and everybody's watching, and you're in the game, and yeah, it's not a good game. Gonzaga's kicking their ass, but like all of a sudden on national TV, you shut the game down because you just stopped. Everything in you just stopped, and then you wake up and you're on a stretcher, and they're like, "We need to get you out of here now," and you're like, "What happened though? I don't. You passed out and hit your head." No, I didn't.
No, I didn't.
What are you talking
about?
No, you got to leave. No, this is Elite Eight. I'm not leaving this game. Oh, no, you must. Let's show you the video. Oh, fuck, that's so embarrassing. I hate my life. I can totally see that being exactly how things play out.
Probably. It's just like, well, this was not planned.
This is not why you become a referee. I'll tell you that much for sure.
It'd be great if Troy Aikman was narrating.
He starts to come and then he pulls out.
That's just the he nutted in his pants and he's just like, oh
jeez.
He's just like, wow, that was on national television, man. It was embarrassing.
Imagine if you, oh my gosh, if you came so hard you passed out. I mean,
you'd be chasing that feeling for the rest of your life.
Exactly. Yeah, that would be one where you're like, oh, that is actually what ecstasy is. Okay.
Oh, that's how a sex addict is made. Just getting that first hit where you're just like, whoa. And then you just become a sex addict
That
because
was-
you're chasing that dragon. You'll never get it.
That was
It's just
so
like the
great.
first time you smoked weed, the
Yep.
first time you got drunk, first time you shoot heroin. You'll never get it again.
Ever.
No matter how long a break you take. If you go full celibate and then just finally go and bust, it's never going to be that good.
But you'll convince yourself you will.
You're just like,
yeah.
There it has to.
You never
It
know.
has to happen.
It only takes one
It
day.
has to exist. Out in this world, it has to
It
exist.
has to. And I think it does.
And then it just increases, escalates to our autoerotic asphyxiation, then you die.
Bada bing, bada boom. That's human
You know?
nature.
Which, have you ever heard of the movie Father of the Year with Robin Williams?
Mm-mm.
So it's directed by Bobcat Goldthwait, and the beginning scene is so ridiculous. So he's like a writer, and he's not very good. He sends
Nice.
he finishes books, sends them off, and none of them get published. He's got like a shitload of books that he's written, none of them got published. And he lives with his son, and I think he's a widower. And his son is the biggest asshole. He's played by Junie from Spy Kids.
Oh, Christ.
And
Junie.
the first scene, he's like
What
knocking
name
at.
is Junie?
I know, right? But he knocks at the door. He's like, "Hey, come on!" And he opens the door, and you see him, and he's got a sheet tied around his head, and then on the other side of the banister, he's like leaning, looking at the camera. He's like purple face and everything. And Robin Williams comes running. And he's like, oh my god, are you okay?" And then he's just like, "Oh my god, I was just about to come, you fag! What is wrong with you?"
That sounds so familiar, actually. I can't. I feel like I might have seen that. That's so funny.
He's like, "I was just about to come, you fag!" And then the kid ends up dying because of that. And so, Robin Williams, the whole rest of the movie, Robin Williams is trying to cover it up like he committed suicide and he was upset. And it turned out that absolutely no one missed his son because his son was a piece of shit.
Was this a comedy?
Dark comedy,
Okay.
really dark comedy.
Very sad. Sounds very Bobcat.
Bobcat Goldthwait, but comedies are just dark comedies. They're so fucking like, oof.
I mean, haha, but yikes.
Yeah. Because it is a funny premise.
Right.
Just to have this guy whose son is such a piece of shit pervert
Mhm.
dies, and then he tries to fake it as a suicide, and he's trying to put up with that. And people are like, that wouldn't make sense. He was such a narcissist, he would never kill himself. And he hates everybody at school. He would never do that. And then at the end, he has to come clean, and he's like, my son accidentally died masturbating in the closet.
That's human comedy right there.
It's so fucking funny. It's a good movie.
Yeah.
Check
Okay.
it out.
Okay.
But it's just, oh, dude, I was about to come, you fag. Like, of all the lines to open with.
Yep.
Like, that's the first line of dialogue after Robin Williams' little voiceover monologue. Is like, "This is my name. I'm a writer. I'm not a very good writer." And blah, 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 blah.
Uh-huh.
And, like, my wife died and all this, and I live with my son. And then he opens the door, and he's just like, it's so fucking funny. So fucking funny.
Oh man.
Oh,
R.I.P.
R.I.P. baby. It still makes me a little get the feels whenever you go up to 13th and Grant
Yeah.
in Denver, because at that intersection they have a mural that says Robin Williams that says always remember to put on a smile or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
So
Yeah. Hey, it's good advice,
love Rob Will.
Love Rob Will.
Rob Will.
Love Rob Will.
R.I.P. or Rob Will.
All right. Rip Rob Will.
Just throw up.
I mean, that's how we get out of any situation, right?
100%.
It really is a great way to get out of any situation.
It's the perfect thing to cut away from in the middle of.
Yep.
Like the second somebody starts throwing up and you cut away, which is why I had a problem with that dude faking throwing up in Age of Ultron. You cut away. You got the joke. You didn't have to hold on it for like even just that 1 second was too much. You cut away the second he gets out and goes, "Ugh!"
Fucking Joss, man.
I'm a better director than Joss Whedon, Jack.
I knew that.
It's facts.
I mean, come on. We're just trying to communicate here. I mean, this is obvious.
Yeah. I direct this show better than Joss Whedon.
That is true. That is true. I don't think Joss Whedon could handle us.
No, I don't think a lot of people could.
No. My communion teacher definitely couldn't.
Yeah. There's some people that I just can't fucking handle.
Yeah.
Because I just watched the fucking Swapcast with Bad Friends and Two Bears.
Mhm.
So, Santino and Bobby Lee on Two Bears, Tom and Bird on Bad Friends, which that one was probably my favorite. Because Just Bobby and Andrew Santino just go off on each other so hard, and it's so frantic, and I'm just like, I can't handle it. It's so much.
Listen,
I would
okay.
get so quickly frustrated with Bobby
I was
Lee.
going to say, I want to start a movement. I really, really do. Listeners, everybody, let's make this happen. Sam Butler debates Bobby Lee. Who knows what it's going to be about? It has to happen, though. And no rules to the debate at all. We won't stop either of you from interrupting each other. We won't, I mean, you could scream and swear and say whatever you want to say to each other. You know, you guys could get naked if you want to. Nothing is off. Well, I know Bobby Lee's into that, you know? Nothing is off limits, okay? Let's make this happen.
No.
Yes.
No.
See,
you know what, if we're gonna start a movement, I had this thought while I was mowing lawns this morning. I was listening to music, and when I want to get hype, I'll listen to the workout playlist because it's
Sure.
like it was a good morning. I was off to a good start. Positive affirmations up my ass, dude. And I was mowing, and I was just like listening to Schoolboy Q, and I'm like, you know what? I bet I could be friends with Schoolboy Q. And I'm like, okay, that's a good one. That's a good topic. That's a good topic to end the podcast on, Jack.
Yeah.
Who of all your favorite musicians do you think you could be really good friends with?
My favorite musicians.
And I'm gonna discount Run the Jewels.
Okay. Avicii. No, I'm just kidding. R.I.P. I think I would have gotten along with Avicii. I would have just asked him a lot of questions about Sweden that he probably wouldn't have
He would
wanted
be
to
like,
answer.
"Would you just like me to show you?
He's like, I
will just show you Sweden.
Would you like me to ask you questions about Littleton?
Sweden is
I
not
think
off
so.
limits. You can go to Sweden
can
whenever you
go.
want.
We can hang out and talk about anything else.
It's just like
That Finnish lady in Veep is one of my.
yeah.
By the way,
By the way.
Okay, favorite musical artist that would get along with. I don't know. I really feel like Zach Brown and I would click. I feel like based on what his songs are trying to like. This is
All
why
right.
I like Zach Brown.
Actually, let me change it. Which rapper do you think you would get along with? Like, who do you think they would just be like, I like this white boy?
Oh God, I don't know.
So I get that a lot.
Yeah.
I'm oftentimes like, I like this white boy.
Yeah,
And it's like nice.
let's see. I think MC Ren and I would get along super well because I'd be like, listen, man, I think it's a crime that you didn't become famous. I am gonna fight for you through and through. I think we're one of the best lyricists that's ever been unknown. You know, I mean, you're known because of NWA, and then I would have his back, and then we would get along. Yeah,
I could see that.
yeah. MC Ren.
All right, who's your number two?
My number two.
My number two got to be Danny Brown. I would get along with Danny Brown so well.
Sure.
Purely just because the jumping on point would be, hey, dude, I love your mom's house.
That's fair. That's fair.
You know? I mean, he named his entire album, you know what I'm saying, because of a bit on that podcast.
Makes sense.
It's a great album.
I would say number two is going to be Wiz Khalifa. I mean, we just smoke weed and
Really?
chill all day.
Dude,
Yeah.
speaking of Wiz
I would
Khalifa,
make a movie with Wiz Khalifa.
Speaking of Wiz Khalifa, bro, he started his own, like, it's a delivery, like, food shop. It's only through, like, DoorDash and Uber Eats or whatever. And it's called the Hot Box by Wiz. And I
Nice.
got some the other day, all right? It's called the Taylor Gang Bowl. And what it is, I'll lay it out for you. The base of it, tater tots. Middle layer, mac and yellow.
Oh God.
Because, of course, mac and yellow, mac and yellow.
Mac and yellow.
And then top layer, chicken nuggets. It's really just chopped up chicken strips.
Sure.
And then all sprinkled and covered with like this fiery hot sauce and ground up flaming hot Cheetos. It is so preposterous that I could only eat like a third, not even that, a quarter of it when I first had it, a quarter later. And then I was just like, I can't finish this.
Yeah.
It was giving me heartburn on the way down. And I am not stoned or drunk enough to be like, this is my jam.
Yeah.
And I think it got Winston sick from licking the bowl
No.
because he was like throwing up and farting like crazy for a few days after that. And I was
Seems
like,
reasonable.
that sounds like something that would do that to Winston.
Yeah.
But
I still might get some tonight.
I mean, it's in Denver. You got to be in radius.
It's gonna be my my cheat meal. I'm gonna fly downtown real quick, get
Yeah.
myself a big old
just
bowl
order
of
it, do
heartburn.
for pickup, and you
Yep.
go and you pick your thing up. They got much more than just that. But I
boy.
wanted to go. I'm trying this out. Let's go for top shelf
Mhm.
crazy stoner food.
I'm into it.
And I tried it, and dude, it wasn't bad.
Yeah,
It was just
a lot.
so much.
Yeah.
And I wasn't high or drunk enough to just be
Right.
like, oh, you know?
Yeah, yeah. In
And-
theory, a tornado or a hurricane are kind of cool. I mean, it's crazy and rare. Experiencing
in
them
one.
is horrible.
To be in one is a whole different story.
They make great movie set
Yeah,
pieces.
But
you know.
here was the best part about the whole thing, Jack.
Mm.
I open up the bag, I look down in it, and right there on top is a free lighter that says Hot Box by Wiz.
That's pretty
I
dope.
give you a free fucking lighter. That's
pretty
so
dope.
dope. That
Dope.
is so dope.
See, okay, yeah.
So yeah, you will be best friends with Wiz Khalifa because he's got insane food
Mhm.
ideas, stoner, and he'll give you a free lighter.
yeah, and he's a pretty philosophical guy. I mean,
I haven't heard him talk. I just know that he got fucking ripped.
Yeah,
Yeah, a few years ago.
that dude's legit. Yeah, me, MC Ren, and Wiz Khalifa
Yeah,
are
and
taking
the
over this
10th
world.
anniversary of Rolling Papers just happened a couple weeks ago. Maybe it was last week, but still.
Nice.
And yeah, Wiz is the dope. I remember.
I'm the king of
I
everything.
remember he sold these wrapping paper things, and it was so cool because you'd flip it open and it had like this hair tie thing that when you snap it on, it folds the top lid into being a little tray
Ah, nice.
for you to hold your weed. It has a rolling tray built into the fucking packaging. and I
That's
was like,
dope as fuck.
that's pretty cool. It's just I was really dog shit at rolling king size, and this was before I figured out the cigarette roller hack.
Yeah. Hey,
You
you
know?
figured it out.
I got shaky hands, homie.
You and me both, man. You and me both. It's the downfall.
That's why I'm like, I don't feel goofy using the cigarette roller because it's a game changer.
Yeah.
And also, you just buy a pack of 100 filter tips
Yeah.
from Raw off Amazon for $9. Dude, that's 100 joints.
Yeah.
That you don't have to roll up your own little filter. You just stick it in there, pack the weed, close it, roll up your joint,
Yeah.
and then you fucking are ready to go.
Yeah. If you only smoke joints if they've been well rolled by hand, what are you doing? You're a fool.
And also, I don't like the cones.
Yeah.
The cones, the paper burns so much faster than that core ember. And it's just like if you tap it too hard, the ember could fall off and just waste a weed.
Yeah, it sure does.
So I like how it's cylindrical. And also, as an ex-smoker, it kind of reignites that was the whole thing really that I enjoyed about smoking cigarettes was like just the ritualistic nature of just popping one out and just, now I can do that with joints.
Yeah. And then
It's
have
Hella
much better
convenient.
high. Yeah.
Yes. Enjoy, and I don't end up waking up with shit in my lungs,
Yeah.
having to hawk it up in the shower.
Relative
it's a
low
lot
health
nicer.
consequences.
Yeah,
Yeah.
pretty
Versus
much-
extreme health
Pretty
consequences.
much no health
Yeah.
consequences.
Versus very real extreme health
There was
consequences.
a meme I saw. It was like, "Oh no, I overdosed on marijuana again," and it shows a picture of a guy just sleeping. I OD'd on weed.
Fucking society, dude.
Right?
We're getting it right though.
I
We're
know. Did
figuring
you
it
see in
out.
New York? New York passed recreational legalization, and
Huge.
now it is no longer probable cause to search a vehicle by police if it smells like weed, burnt or unburnt.
Really? Oh.
I don't
okay.
know if that's been a thing for Colorado
Mhm.
because I don't know. I haven't worried about smoking in my car in 5 years.
Yeah, no, that was for the old times.
And also, if they look like cigarettes, they think you're just smoking cigarettes and you're just a savage who hotboxes cigarettes.
That's right. That's right. Now, if you're smoking a pipe, that's pretty obvious.
Yeah.
But if you're
Yeah,
smoking
because you
joint-
gotta put your elbows on the steering wheel and do it. But if you got the cigarette, dude, joints are the best. It's the most ideal marijuana intake system of them all.
that's right.
Except for, I guess, vape pens because you can do them just about anywhere and the smell is so much lower. But also, I don't really trust them after that whole vape scare because that was over marijuana.
Right.
Fucking stuff.
Nah.
But,
Just smoke the grass, bro. Just smoke the grass.
yeah, smoke the grass, vape the nick.
Mm-hmm. And you'll be okay.
Because I'm just a fucking vape lord over here, challenging another vape lord, Jacob Beta.
Oh, shit.
Vape lords, there can only be one.
Oh, boy. Who will win? This is going to be better than Kong versus Godzilla.
It could be.
Yeah.
That was damn good. We enjoyed it quite a bit.
A Beta versus Butler.
A Beta versus Butler. All righty. I think that does it here for us over at DMT. Once again, like, rate, and subscribe everywhere where you get podcasts. Blow it up even more, baby. Subscribe to DMT Studios on YouTube because the video, despite technical difficulties this past week, it will be up and it will be on and poppin' as we continue on this wacky adventure of DMT. Go ahead and shoot us an email at dmtpcast@gmail.com if you feel like it. And, go ahead and give us a follow on Instagram at DMTPcast. And while you're there, just ship on over to SammyB_DMT and, the silverback Sasquatch.
No, you had it right the first time.
Silverback Sasquatch. 1162.
That's right.
Yeah. And he's also out on Twitch as my thing on Twitch. And check out bestworstcantina.com. Merch will be coming.
Merch.
We will be having shirts, hats. The pizza guy will be a fucking shirt.
Nice.
I mean, now that these bits come along, I gotta remember them.
Yep, you gotta keep them written down and then put them
We're
on
gonna
a
have to do
t-shirt.
an entire Bumblebee Man series. We gotta do a Mikey Bike series, but we don't have any artist friends to do that with.
Not yet, at least.
So we'll keep you in touch. But meanwhile, while you're out there at Best Worst Cantina, check out Unemployed Commentators with Gary Miller, friend of the show, and Giancarlo. It's very funny, and it's a good second look at the sports events that you know and love.
Yes.
So just spread the love, buy their merch, enjoy life. Yahweh. Yep. Take it sleazy, Mayor McCheesy. Love you guys.
Introduce me as the guest this week.
All right.
Yeah. I want
You want
people to
that?
think that this is like a big deal that I'm on today.
All right.
Yeah.
Okay. I'll do that for you.
Thanks, buddy. That's all I wanted.
All right.